Good morning, y'all. It's Angela Mayfield, and I am on the front page of my local newspaper above the fold because I say naughty words on Twitter. Now, this particular article was written by Ron Daniel, who is the managing editor of the Douglas County Sentinel. By the way, support local journalism. It really, truly is important. But since they've moved it back behind a paywall because the story got so popular on Facebook, I thought I would read it to you all. So let me read to you this piece that Mr. Daniel has written about me. Okay. Candidate stands by vulgar tweets. Mayfield running against four-term incumbent Gravely. By Ron Daniel, editor. Editor's note, this article contains references to strong and graphic language that may offend some readers. A candidate for a state house seat is defending several posts to Twitter containing graphic language, including multiple uses of the F word and the slang term for female genitalia. Is there only one, really? Angela Mayfield, a Democrat, is challenging four-term incumbent Republican state Micah Gravely for the District 67 House seat that covers parts of West Douglas and South Paulding counties. Mayfield said the language she uses on Twitter comes from the, quote, roots of her, quote, raising. I didn't say that. I typed it. He never bothered to call me. We've not talked. Anyway. I come from 6 generations of coal miners, chicken farmers, lawmen, and truckers on both sides of my family, Mayfield said. I wrote. The words I use may be colorful, but they're sincere. I cuss some, but I came by it honestly. Mayfield said she's been using Twitter since 2011, well before her run for office. She is using her personal Twitter account for her campaign, although that Twitter account identifies her as Angela Mayfield for GAHD67. She said she feels it would be disingenuous to clean up my language for the optics of respectability on a platform where I have, hold on, let's go to tweets, page A5, always participated as a regular, everyday person. In a January 2009 post, Mayfield writes in part in a tweet, quote, I've known men who couldn't perform a specific sex act worth a damn, but were willing to learn. The tweet appears to be part of a thread with Mayfield and others gossiping about an unnamed couple. Asked for more context on that particular post, Mayfield said she had none and that issues facing the country were more important. In several other tweets, she attacked the Trump administration using expletives. In a post about doctors dealing with the pandemic, she writes in part, these are people who spend their whole careers preparing for this exact scenario, did hard work all over the world, and watched the administration fumble the fucking ball. Yeah, I did. I wrote that in support of the people at the CDC, a 70-year-old agency that's the Trump administration has now kneecapped. Yeah, I did. They're really good doctors. Anyway, here we go. Replying to a post about a federal judge striking down the administration's policy legalizing the killing of birds, it's the Migratory Bird Act, Mayfield wrote, wow, this administration is really just a pack of unneutered feral cats just pissing on everything they can't kill or fuck, including burbs. Sick. Because I misspelled burbs. Dr. David Schock is shocked. Dr. David Schock is a professor of political science at Kennesaw State University whose expertise includes political campaigns and candidates. Schock called the tweets unprofessional behavior for someone seeking to represent a district in the state house. It is unusual for a serious candidate to be posting items with profanity on social media, Schock said. There are candidates who use profanity, but they usually are candidates who either have no chance of winning due to the demographics and political characteristics of the district, or are guaranteed election because of no opposition. Schock added, to gain votes, typically candidates aim to be polite to all who post and focus on positive items. People tend to vote for candidates they like as a person. Voters should be concerned about how a candidate posting these types of items would conduct him or herself in a public office. Wow, I think Dr. Schock had more to say about my tweets than my tweets. Interesting. Josh Smith is a pastor at Cowan Mill Baptist Church in Winston, which is within House District 67. Smith said he saw Mayfield's tweets on social media. Many of the tweets have been shared on Facebook by others, shocked, like Dr. Shock, by the language used in them. Smith said he was blown away and that he believes Mayfield is a lost soul. Sorry, I can't keep it together. He said, I'm a lost soul looking for attention by making absurd statements. Dude, I'm a preacher's daughter. You want to quote scripture with me? We will go. Holy shit. Gravely declined to comment for this article, saying he was focused on his own campaign and continuing to serve his constituents in District 67. I would ask you to look and see who donates to his campaign, because it's not constituents in District 67. Anyway, this is the first time I've been in the paper since maybe a spelling bee when I was 12 or 13. So I got to say thank you to Ron Daniel. I do so much appreciate the Streisand effects, and I'm more than happy to talk about issues. And as you can see, I can't actually talk about them without cussing, but I don't get your attention unless I do. So good job scolding a woman, and I will see you under the gold dome.